Hey there Highlanders, this is Brady from Highland Fitness. Today we're going to be doing a trainer tip about the IT band. We've been having a lot of issues, people coming up and asking us questions about that. The thing about the IT band you got to recognize is that it connects all the way down past the knee, all the way up into your pelvis here. It's a very complicated, very thick, kind of fibrous, connective tissue. So literally if you were to kind of take a look at that, I mean it is a very thick, very dense connective tissue. You could probably hang a car from it if you really needed to. Not only does it go on the surface here though, it also goes straight down into the muscle and connects to that femur. So it creates kind of an anterior and a posterior compartment of the leg. So when people say I have an IT band issue, you actually have an entire leg issue. It is very thick, it is very dense, it is very fibrous, it's very hard to stretch. So we can attack it from a couple of different ways. One is going to be rolling, and that will be our next video for next week. This week we're going to talk about a little bit of stretching that you can do for the muscles that connect to that IT band and try and loosen it up, basically relieve some of that stress on the IT band by relieving the muscles around it. So the stretch I'm going to show you today is very simple. Anybody can do it. You can do it at home, you can do it in the gym here, you can do it whenever you have a free moment. But what you're going to need is an elevated surface. When you get the elevated surface, Captain Morgan it. Put that leg up on top. You're going to bend over at the waist. Try and keep those hips as square as possible. You are going to need to bend the left leg here. Coming down, making point of contact with your hands. And then what we're going to do is just kind of explore these different angles with our knee. So we bend down, stay upright, and we're just going to kind of work around here, pushing those hips back until we feel that stretch. And Jen, can you bring the camera around here a little bit? Until we feel that stretch kind of on this posterior part in those glutes. Now, this is probably similar to a lot of you people that do boot camps with me. I stress the flexion, external rotation of the hip, good mobility throughout. Same general principle, but more of a functional approach to the stretch because you can explore some different angles here by just rotating and pressing. Remember to hold for about 10 seconds and then move. Hold 10 seconds and then move. Another thing that we can do is that flexion and external rotation at the hip. So support the ankle, support the knee, standing upright and sinking down. You should feel those stretches all the way back here. Primary reason for that, we tend to work a lot in this sagittal plane of motion, so the straight forward and straight back. So these muscles that are used for the lateral, specifically that TFL, that tensor fascia lata, tends to get tight, get really mad, and guess what? That's connected to that IT band. It's a direct pull on kind of the anterior part of that knee and starts to inflame a lot of things. So that's your basic stretch for IT band to release a couple of muscles on the posterior side, maybe a little bit on that lateral hamstring side. Next week we're going to take the roller and take what's called a tennis ball to that same general area, try and break up some muscle tissue, try and release some of that junk that builds up in there. Remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and stay tuned next week for our IT band part 2. Thanks.